I'm Mike Sanders. I'm here to show you how to set up the new net system here at Emmanuel Lutheran Church and School in Wentzville. We've got the net set up and we've changed out everything for you. If you see here, what you see is we've got the post set up at competition height, 7 feet 4 inches for 7th and 8th grade height, and really that's height for high school and everything else. So these are set for this, but it'll work on any height that we have here. I've got the net laid out. We've already pulled it off of the cart and laid it down here in the floor. So the first thing we're going to do is we need the net, and we need 2 of these white straps that came from the old net system. And I'll show you how we're going to use those in a minute. But first thing we're going to do is you want to put the top and the bottom cable on. So the top cable goes on first. Just take the loop, put it in the carabiner hook on the dead end, then go down to the crank end. Take the loop, doesn't matter which loop you have on here, and put it on the carabiner for the live end on the crank, okay? You're gonna see these black things dangling here. That's okay, we're gonna use those in a minute. First thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and tighten up the net. What I usually do is tighten this until it starts to wind all the way around. That tells me I've got it nice and tight. As soon as full rotation, it's streaming like that, then we know it's good and tight. So now we've got the top cable done. The bottom cable is where you're going to use these straps. So you take a strap, the white strap, you loop it through the bottom cable with the loop here. Just take it in here, take it around the post, and then put it into the cam lock like you normally did. Through the bottom of the cam, and then tighten it, but don't make it real tight yet, okay? Go down to the other end, do the same thing. Take your strap, put it in the loop, take it around the post, over the top of the collar. Put the cam in, put it in the cam lock. And tighten it pretty good till you get it about where you want it. Then I always like to move the buckle closer to the post so the excess is out of the way. Then go back to the other end and tighten it up really good again. The idea here is to get them as close to even as you can. Don't worry though, the net will be dictated by the other ones, okay? So that's setting the top and the bottom cable. What is next is these black cords that are going to be actually giving you tension on the net. Now they look very complicated, they're actually very simple. Okay, so you take the one at the bottom here, you go around the pole. I want you to stay between the pole and the cable. So over here you see the cable, I want you to stay between the pole and the cable on all of them. Bring that buckle around a bit, and then this buckle goes around this hook right here. It just holds like that. Now we may have to tighten them. If we do, we'll do that later. Same thing with the second one here. Take it up. Actually, I'm on the top one. I've gotten in between the cable and the hook here. Pull it tight to make the hook work, and hold it there. All right, same thing with the middle. You can do these in any order. You can do them top down, bottom up. It really doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you get all 3 hooks done. So now we're done with this end. We're going to go down to the other end. Now we're on the other end, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with those 3 hooks. Now you may get to the point where you need some line. If you do, there's a way to make more looseness to this buckle, but this one's actually working pretty good. I'm going to show you how to loosen it in just a second. Same thing with this one here. Come down, bring the buckle around to the post. Now we have to have some looseness, so I'll show you that. Let's get this last bottom one here. See if we can make this one work. Yeah, this one will work tight, fine, okay? All right, so let me show you how to give yourself some more looseness here. On the back side of this, you see the little crank. There's a little tab right here. You push this tab up, and then the hook will release. Now I've got more room to do this with. I just come up here, set it up again, go right on this, and pull tight. Pull that loose end tight. And now what we've got is a nice, tight net ready for competition play. The reason it's important to have the net tight with a lot of tension is that you want the ball to play out of it in case the ball goes into the net. So that's a nice tight net that's pushing the ball back out. If it hits the top, it goes straight down, just like it was supposed to, like any normal competition net would be. So now this net is tight and ready for play. One of the things we did also with this is we purchased some new markers and antennas for this net system. Now, antennas are a really important part of the game because they are one of the boundary lines. They're just as important as the lines on the floor. And putting them in correctly is very important as well. So what I've done is I've taken this one, I've opened up the Velcro on all of it. The way this is going to work is you're going to put this over the top of the net, bring the Velcro down, line it up with the boundary line, and then take the Velcro and sandwich the net in between it. All the way down, making the Velcro work pretty well. Stick it there nice and tight. Bring the bottom flap up and tighten that there. Then you take these side flaps around the net post and cover them there. Sometimes the net gets in the way. It's not a big deal. You can just make the net work around them. Once you've got it there, it'll stay and it'll be nice and tight there, and that antenna will not move. Okay? Now something else about this, and there's a lot of questions that folks have about this, is where does the antenna go? Okay? This is the marker. It's 2 inches, the same size as the line. So the marker should be right on line with the actual baseline itself. The antenna always goes on the outside pocket of the marker, because what we want is we want this edge of the antenna to be the outside border line. So that's why the antenna always goes on the outside of this marker. If we were on the other end, of course, it would be on this side. Whatever is closest to the post, that's where this antenna goes. So now we're going to put the system away. And we're going to do it in the reverse order of what we put it up. But the main thing here with the antennas is make sure that you take care of these. One of the things we need to do is we need to make sure that the markers have the Velcro all put back together. The reason is because if you don't, it gets dust and lint and stuff in there, and the Velcro doesn't last as long. These will last a very long time if you take care of them. So make sure that you put all the Velcro back the way it's supposed to be, lined up with all the flat. And then also take the antenna, pull it out of its holster here, and put it in the other side. So now what you've got is you've got the antenna completely encapsulated in its own case, set to go for the next time you're going to play. The next step in disassembling this net is to go ahead and take the black tensioners off. So really it's just a matter of pulling them together. There's enough flex in those that they'll come right off, and just let them hang this way. After the black tensioners have been loosened on both ends, now it's time to take the bottom cable off. Just push on the cam lock here, let that cable out, and go ahead and disconnect it all the way. You can also pull it out just so there's not extraneous strap that you have to worry about rolling up later. And go ahead and roll this up and put it on the cart. Last thing is to go ahead and disconnect the top cable. First, loosen it to a sufficient length to where you get about 8 inches or more of a hump in the middle of the net. Just to give you enough freedom to go ahead and remove the carabiner clips with the cable, and then drop it on the floor. You'll find it a lot easier to roll the nets up into the net cart if you start out with it nice and square to the net, straight into where it's going. You also will want to have someone helping you on the end here, holding the tension of the net as you crank. I don't have an assistant here to do that for me today, but what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put it on there. First thing to do is take the end of the net, put it up against the wheel here, and then take this Velcro and slip it in around that. So you're setting the net to this cart. Then, with a little bit of tension on the end from your partner, go ahead and start to crank it nice and slow, be as even as possible. These nets will be fine, but you really just kind of want to get it as straight and as even as possible. So when you have help, it will be a lot easier and a lot faster to do, just a lot neater as well, but this is going pretty well. When you get to the top here, you just go ahead and give it one more turn to get those black ropes off the ground, and now you've got your net put away. This is not the neatest job. It would be a lot neater with an assistant, but you can see it's fairly easy to put everything back in order where it's supposed to go. This new net system is pretty easy to put up, and certainly a lot better than the old system that we had that didn't have quite so much tension either on the bottom or the sides. It will last a very long time if we just take care of it. But I want to say, you want the kids to understand how to put net systems up. Let them do it. As coaches, you've got enough to do. You're working on practice plans. You're working on trying to figure out who's going to play where. Let the kids do these things like putting the nets up, because if they learn to do that now, they can put them up anywhere. Plus, it's just good practice to make them learn how to take care of the equipment. Thanks a lot for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.